I'm taking you for a walk in sunny Florida. It's almost the sunset. It's Friday night and I needed to go for a walk. How are you? Welcome to my live stream. It's Kate B, your favorite vlogger from sunny Florida. If you're first time on my channel, I'm Kate. I needed to go for a walk. I've been crying today. Look at my face, crying. I needed to go and take this walk to get my steps in. I haven't been walking in my neighborhood for a while, and today is a beautiful weather. How is your Good Friday going? Today is a Good Friday. My kids went to church with their dad. It's their annual tradition to go on Good Friday for a service. And I didn't have my energy today to go with them. So I took their pictures because they dressed up pretty. My daughters dressed up in cute dresses and they went. They left me alone because today I'm officially grieving. I told you if you were on my channel, I might mention it like earlier this week that somebody passed away at work, and the lady didn't necessarily work in my department. She worked in a different department, but I knew her for the past 10 years, and today hit me hard that she passed away. And we had group grief counseling organized by our administration, but our director, he's taking care of the employees to let them to give some support, you know. And today I was able to go for about an hour for this group counseling session, and I'm very glad I could go because there were co-workers who worked in her department, and they shared very good memories. They shared very good stories about the lady, and it made me feel a little better. But you know, it's very sad. And when I think about it, like, she worked in the library she's been working in the library for the past 29 years. Just imagine you worked your whole life in one place, and how many people you had to interact within this 29 years, how many people you've seen come and go, how many people you've seen growing from being young to getting older. And she probably was, you know, she probably was the only person in that department who worked that long. So she's seen it all. And it was nice to hear the coworkers shared funny stories about her. And she didn't like all this business lingo, all this business jargon, and all this goal settings and stuff. And it was funny how they were describing that when they asked her, what are your goals for the year, she would say, I don't have goals. Look how pretty it is. The birds are singing. There is a slight breeze. Hello, Curse. Welcome to my channel. How can you hear me? I'm wearing microphone. Look how pretty the lawns are. So green. This is bougainvillea or something. Okay. So today I allowed myself to feel that immense grief because I have a very weird relationship with grief. I think this passing of this lady at work, it triggered a lot of emotions in me about my mom passing 24 and a half years ago, almost 25 years ago. And I just felt like back in the day we didn't have enough knowledge about, oh, it's already spring there. Yeah, it's already very nice and warm here in Florida, very springy, very beautiful. Everything is nice and fresh, green. very bright colors. So why it's triggered in me so many emotions? Just because, you know, I was a little upset that everybody knew, everybody who worked around her knew she was sick. She was in the hospital, and back where I'm from, the culture was different. You know, people into everybody's business, and usually when you work with somebody, you know these things. Here in the States, people like to keep things to themselves. They you know, they guard their privacy. They don't want to tell other people about what's going on in their life much. They just come to work, they get along, they do their job, but they don't tell much about their personal issues, not necessarily. Some people do share, some don't. But what I'm like, in particular, what I'm mad about is that some people that were really close friends to her, they knew she was sick for a while, and she stayed in the hospital. And I feel this big regret that I didn't get to know she was in the hospital, and maybe I could go say goodbye, maybe I could go visit. And I know I sound really, really selfish saying, you know, I wasn't even close to her, but for some reason I would want to be there for her a little more. And when things like that happen, you just realize that everybody is going to work about their own business. We're all, you know, preoccupied with the things and tasks we perform at work. And you know, when you lose somebody, you don't realize, you know, you don't realize if you did enough to get along with this person, if you did enough to, I don't know, to be a good co-worker. And I feel this regret that I didn't know she was sick, and maybe I could be there for her, like helping with something when she was sick, because she didn't have family around. Her family was pretty much the co-workers that worked with her for all these years. And I'm so glad to know that she wasn't alone, that people surrounded her, that she was super sweet, and she didn't necessarily have her own immediate family next to her because she didn't have kids. And I think her husband passed away too, but she was very friendly with few people from work, more close. And maybe she asked them, not to make a big deal out of it. But even a guy who worked there less than a year, he got a chance to visit her in the hospital, and he shared how it made him feel better, even if he didn't know her for all these years that we've been known her. But he shared that when he went to the hospital, he kind of knew that she might not come back. And it was nice to hear how he shared. Hi. It was nice to hear how he shared that that, you know, he shared that when he went there, he at least got to have disclosure, and he got a chance to say goodbye. And I cried. And to tell you the truth, like, this group therapy session is a joke, because the dude who came over, he was supposed to be a professional counselor. And that's why I don't like, you know, he just came there, and he pretty much, when I asked him a question, I said, can you give me something, how I deal with this regrets, how I let I said, it's all about acceptance, all your feelings are valid, blah, blah, blah. But he was so out of it, you know. He was hired, I think he was outsourced by University Counseling Services, and he wasn't even employed by our institution. You know, you weren't use of that time. So he pretty much came there to facilitate this talk among us and what memories we could share about Mary Lee. And not many people showed up. Some of the students she supervised showed up too and shared a few little stories. And I know the students are very young, they're from a different generation, so they had this little laughs about her. And it was nice to see that I was the only one who expressed so much emotions, because as I say, you know, everything is very raw when it comes to my feelings. Oh my gosh. Hello, how are you? But what I'm trying to say, like I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I was only in therapy once, and I really loved that lady. You know, I paid her big money. My insurance covered that therapy, and she did an amazing job. She gave me tools. She talked to me. I could have a dialogue. When I asked her something, she'll explain things. This guy was just sitting there, and he was so out of it. And I wasn't just, you know, like if they asked us to give him reviews or something, he was just such a slacker. I didn't necessarily need him to be there for me, because they offered individual sessions after the group sessions, and I'm like, forget it. He's not a really good professional, because he didn't make that rapport. He didn't sincerely was there. Like he would even ask us questions. Oh, what you guys do? Like, is it a special memorial? Like, you know, like we don't know anything. They don't have a procedure. People are very private. So I'm like, okay. But like what he told me about, like my feelings about like regrets, about how sorry I am. He said, you just have to accept your feelings and live like through all 5 stages of grief, and for everybody it's different. Somebody can get stuck in the anger state and blah blah blah. And I don't like this theory, because, you know, like I know she wasn't very close to me, but just because, you know, just she wasn't very close to me, but I wanted, I don't know, this culture, it bothers me, because back in the day, if somebody's death or like wedding or birth of kids was a big deal, and the community would be in everybody's business. We put money together, we make like a party, or like, and here we don't even know. They don't even, their people are so private usually. They don't even invite anybody for the funeral, you know. They don't share these things. Everything is just such a formality. You get notified of your colleague passing, and like there is no that support I felt back in our culture, when people like trying to put a little fund together to talk about like flowers, to sending like flowers or a gift basket to, I don't know, to her family. Or it's just, here is just so dry. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the funerals and weddings shouldn't be that show of the, you know, it shouldn't be a big deal. Maybe it should be like, really, life is about celebrating life of a person, not celebrating the death of a person. But I kind of feel like I'm missing that component of paying my respects. And yeah, sometimes it's right, you don't need like big huge speeches. And it's nice that the co-workers, they said they will suggest to set a little maybe fund for a little stipend or something the library could do just to memorize her, because she's been working there for like all these years. And we, since, you know, we still plan to be there, we want to have something like a legacy or something, like maybe people can donate money towards like a scholarship in her name, or like a little award for the employees in the library. Maybe they establish something that university can approve, a little fund, just to remember to remember her, because she was in her place all these years, and she was very, very sweet person, and she was obviously loved by many. But again, I felt like I wasn't informed enough, and I wasn't there. And what I know, again, it sounds selfish just because I'm grieving, and maybe people don't have that, you know, that the same feels and emotions. They treat death like more spiritually, like it's life. Things happen. We should be ready for that. You're never ready for that. But what I'm trying to say, that what's killing me, I was trying to remember, when was the last time I saw her? Like, did we have any gatherings, any big meetings, big white library meetings? Maybe I saw her last time. Maybe I saw her for something when I stopped by in her department and I said hi briefly. So maybe American society is soulless. Well, it's not soulless. I think they're just more modest in expressing their feelings in public. Maybe they don't make a big deal out of, they don't make a big display or presentation of this, you know, like of these events, death, weddings, or birth. People like to keep for themselves, and maybe, yeah, they're not soulless. Like, yeah, I wouldn't, you know, soulless. Yeah, maybe, yeah. To tell you the truth, that's nothing wrong with that word, right? But I wouldn't criticize. I wouldn't go to that extreme. No, it's just everybody's so different. People go, and I know it's Easter weekend. People are wrapped up with their own families and celebration of this big holiday. But I expected a little, you know, like we all come together. Yeah, but at least we got to talk to this, and we had this group counseling, and I think it was a good chance for me just to cry it out, to say what I meant to say, to, like, I spoke up about, like, what I felt that moment, that I didn't have a chance to be there and pay respects when she was sick, or even before she was sick. Maybe I didn't, you know, I feel this little bit guilt that I didn't go and say hi more often, or didn't get to stop by a little longer to talk to her and know her better. So, no, life is so busy sometimes, and we're all selfish. We come, like, it made me think, we come alone and we leave alone. So, and people who stay behind, they have to deal with their own issue, because if you believe in God, and if you're religious, you know, like, there is another eternal life and people are in better place. But for people who stay, it's never easy to calm yourself down with this, you know, feeling of you never get to talk to the person again, and everything around might trigger other memories and other feelings of sadness and missing out. So I decided to just go for a walk to see how the nature is blossoming, how pretty it is everywhere. Just be grateful, maybe sit down and just think about life, and just go and calm myself down. And moving, like laying down and crying doesn't help. I think I'm a person that needs to be on the move. When I'm on the move, you know, my heart is pumping. I feel like it helps me to snap out of deep blues. Yeah. Why didn't I want to go to church? Because I didn't feel like socializing today. I'd rather come on my YouTube and I'm socializing with you virtually because I didn't feel like being around people in church, and they have like an hour and a half service, and it's a very formal place, like that church my kids went. Good idea, lady. Thank you, Kirst. So I just want to be alone and express my feelings. It's fun to have YouTube channel and go live streaming. Whatever you want to pour out, you just pour out, and you don't know if, you know, people, they don't know you, and you don't care if people are gonna judge you for every little thing. They probably will, but you can be yourself even in front of your little camera. You can be yourself and pour your soul out and just speak up and say how it is. Yes, I'm grieving today, and when I was 24, when my mom passed away, I didn't have enough knowledge about how psychology works, how emotions works, how this, you know, process works, and how now they say grieving is a price we pay for love. And I agree with this expression, because back when I was 24 and I lost my mom, I didn't have a chance to grieve. And now, when I understand, I prefer to be alone too, yeah. And now, I'm very, I'm very self-aware of what's going on, and it's good because you know, I cannot be too hard on myself. You know, they say you gotta be tough. You know, you gotta be tough. And I am tough, but can't just sit and cry. You can find the ways that make you feel better. That's the whole point, you know. Whether you want to go for a walk, whether you want to listen to a nice common music, where you want to, I don't know, find some good pictures and, you know, funny images, or you want to watch a movie that calms you down. So that's why I'm walking here. That's our lake. So nice outside. It's not very humid yet, because Florida gets really humid. And of April, May, it's gonna start to be very hot. But now the weather is beautiful. Life is a lesson that never ends. You're right. I prefer to be alone too, Kirst. Good idea, lady. Yeah, we have to be grateful. We have to count our blessings every day. And also what you learn, that people can't you really take care of yourself. Like it has to be your own responsibility. Like, you know, sometimes we talk with my husband. His parents are older. My dad is 83, and I lost my mom when she was young, when she was 59. It's nothing. This age is nothing in the States. I don't see any people walking around just like you. No, not many people walking tonight. I guess there is a church service before Easter. We celebrate Easter this Sunday, and people went to church for the Good Friday service. But look how pretty these boulders are. So what I'm trying to say, that nobody explains you these things, but You surround yourself with the people who lift you up, who truly care about you. And our parents are older, and you know, like my husband tells that his mom doesn't like to go to the doctors, and we can't really make them go to the doctors to take better care of themselves, but we, you know, and we can't really explain to people that it's their own responsibility to take care of their health. And it's killing me, because like when death happens, it's the only thing you can fix, you know. But when you're still in your 40s and your 50s, and I know we're talking about we can't really say things happen to anybody, even the healthiest people. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I was expecting this dude coming from outside telling me how to grieve and give me some tools, right? But at the end of the day, he was so useless there, because it wasn't his responsibility. It wasn't his responsibility to make me feel better. At the end of the day, he was just there to facilitate this talk, you know, to facilitate this dialogue. And I'm like, dude, you're useless. I asked him a question about like how you deal with regrets, and he said, acceptance. I'll send you the presentation about 5 stages of grief and validations of your emotions. And I'm like, I knew that he was so. And then I understand what I'm expecting from people. Like, my own mental health and my own physical health is only my responsibility. I can get support from my husband, can get a big hug and a big, you know, a big hug, a word of kindness from the people who truly love and care about you. They can be your ear to cry in and your shoulder. But random people who get paid just to be there, and that's their work, they just, you know, they are from 2 to 5 or 12 to 3. They're not my friends. He was not there to really give me something meaningful, because, you know, it's not my family. At the end of the day, she's just a co-worker. But it felt like he didn't care, and it felt like I have to deal with everything I feel on my own, you know. Find the ways just to ease that, you know, this yucky feeling, this pain. Yes. So what you writing there? And that's what I'm doing, you know. At the end of the day, you're responsible. You're responsible to go to your doctor once a year. You're responsible to eat healthy. You're responsible for your own physical activity. You're responsible to manage your stress. There's gonna be nobody there, you know. You're gonna, hi Brendan, welcome. You're gonna die alone. You're gonna lay down, and they simply took her off of life support because that was pointless. They couldn't do anything for her. And it's sad, people, you know. It's sad because for doctors, they see death every day, and they know that people are not necessarily thinking about, they're living the life, they're eating, they're indulging on bad foods and sugars. They don't, you know, they don't have different reasons not to go to the doctors. Some people are afraid of doctors. Some people don't believe in medical care. Some people don't have money to get medical care. Some people, I don't know, there are many reasons, but at the end of the day, nobody gonna care. They're gonna just take you off life support and Nobody gonna fight for your life. Nobody gonna fight for your health. You're just a statistics, you know. It's freaking sad. I would never want to work in the hospital and see death like a common thing, like the end of life and circle of life. Look at this beautiful bird. How beautiful is this bird? Just sitting there, drying the wings. Hi, I have four people on my live stream. I don't know. I just felt the need to talk and be sad. So my advice to you, if you want to live a little longer, if you want to live a little longer and enjoy seeing your kids getting old and enjoy seeing your kids having their own family, it's all in your own hands. Wherever you want to eat every day, whatever you want to do, lay down in bed with a big huge bag of chips, not moving your butt, you know, that's perfectly fine with me. You know, I'm not gonna say it's good. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not good for you. I've been sorry for myself so many years. I couldn't lose weight. Now I lost weight and I don't want to gain it back. So I'm doing something to not be miserable later when the doctors just tell you that they can't do nothing at that point. So I'm 48 and I want to beat the odds to live at least 75, you know, in this country where we have better medical care, probably. Brandon, where are you from? Drop me a line how you can hear me. Look at my beautiful outfit. I like this shirt. It's so cute. They couldn't fit it because I was too fat, but now it's finally I can fit it. It's been there sitting in the closet for a long time waiting for its turn because mama was too fat, but finally finally celebrating and being proud of myself. Just do your steps. 10,000 steps every day. Just eat your salad. It's not that bad, you know. Just say no to a piece of cake. And who is preaching? You know, I bought this Easter bread with little raisins and little tiny pieces of candy in it. And I kind of thought it was like similar to Eastern European, or like European panettone, like Italian Easter bread or Christmas bread. But it was awful. I didn't like it as much, but I ate the piece. I wasn't supposed to eat it today. We have to eat it on Easter, but tomorrow I'm gonna go to Russian store. I'm going to take my dad because I take my dad. I treat him, and he's like a kid in the toy store. When we go to Russian store, he's like, he wants to buy everything. Sweets, he wants to buy what he likes to, he likes to buy his grain. He likes this special grain. He makes his porridge. So what else? He likes to buy he likes to buy sunflower seeds. I like to buy sunflower seeds. And of course we're gonna buy Easter bread. And what else? He loves to buy his dry and smoked fish. And it smells really bad. His dried fish smells really bad, but he likes to buy it when he goes to Russian store. So tomorrow I'm also going to a birthday party And on Sunday, we're gonna just set up the table and eat. Tomorrow, we're gonna dye some eggs because every year my girls and we dye eggs for Easter. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna set up the table. Sunday morning, we're gonna eat our Easter breakfast together and just take it easy. On Easter, you're not supposed to do anything in the house, like you're not supposed to work. So Saturday and Sunday, I'm gonna party tomorrow, and on Sunday, I'll probably cook something nice. Something. Maybe we can grill, I don't know yet. We'll do something. Okay. I already feel better. It took me maybe 3 or 4 circles, but I can feel how my body, it was so stiff. Like when I came home, I was like, oh, very tense and low energy. But now I feel like my heart is pumping again. I'm alive and I have good blood circulation, and you know, I'm sweaty a little bit on my back, and that's a good sign. That means like my heart is staying in the heart rate zone when I burn fats. Yeah, I already feel way better. Okay. Thank you for being with me. If you want to ask a question, please ask away. I'm Kate. I live in the United States. I'm an immigrant from Eastern Europe, and I'm living my American dream. But American dream, it's not always happy-go-lucky. There are moments when you're sad, there are moments when you're tired, there are moments when you're stressed. So whatever dream you live in, I'm sure you still find the moments of sadness and blues. It's nothing wrong with that. But what's most important is how you deal with that, how you snap out of it. Do you have kids, Kate? Yeah, I have 2 daughters. My girls are 15, almost 16, and my youngest is 11. So my 2 girls, my daughter is the youngest one is in 6th grade, and the oldest one, she's in 10th grade. The school is almost over, so they are going until May 23rd. The school year is gonna be over on May 23rd. All right. Curse, do you have kids? Was it you to share the news that you're pregnant? Or maybe I mixed you up with somebody else? Who was, my viewer was from India, and she was sharing in my live stream that she was pregnant. So maybe I mixed her up with you. Curse, where are you from? India? Great. Смотрите, как у нас красиво. Боже мой, какая красота. So pretty and quiet here. What do you want to share with me? You're from Albania, okay. You're from Albania, okay. What I know about Albania? Not much. What I know about Albania? I live in Tirana. Tirana, is it the capital of Albania? I drink a lot of rakia. So cursed. So you can't be pregnant if you drink a lot of rakia. I mixed you up with someone else. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. And I, for some reason, I saw you last live stream, and I, for some reason, thought, yes, capital Tirana. What is the main religion in Albania? Are you guys Muslims mostly? Yes, capital. Tirana. Cool. They build new roads. Like, let me show you these roads. They made this road wider. I used to walk there. They fixed. Wow, look at this road, brand new. So they fixed the sidewalk. Look at this beautiful sidewalk. Now it looks so wide. People can use strollers and people can go on the bicycles. What a good, and all this, they're fixing it with the taxpayers' money. So look how nice and good this new road is. Orthodox is my religion. Good. So you celebrating Easter this weekend? You celebrating Easter too? What's your traditions for Easter? Do you guys dye eggs? I don't quite know why people dye eggs, but I enjoy those rituals because it's something fun to do with my kids. Yes, lady. Okay, so do you have big gatherings with your family on Easter? People get together and eat a lot. Every culture, people eat a lot on Easter, right? I don't even know. I'm not even hungry. I'm not even craving any foods. Interesting. Yes. Mostly red colored eggs. Ah, interesting. Do you guys use onion peels to dye your eggs? Because when I grew up, people didn't have this expensive chemicals and dyes, so my mom would collect for months before Easter. She would collect a lot of onion peels, and then she boiled them on the stove in a big pan of water, and the shells, like those peels, onion peels, will give this dark brown color to the eggs. Oh my gosh, they were so pretty. I should try too. I should try too. I have red onions. Maybe I should use this purple peel to try to color my eggs this way. It's gonna be more natural than using the chemicals. I have the coloring, the little, chemical drops, like coloring dyes for my eggs. My kids love those little kits where are the tablets. You dissolve a tablet in a cup of water, and that's how you dye your eggs. I have heard that, but my mom uses artificial color. That's good too. Yeah, it's easier. That's how my kids like. We buy this little set. There is a little tiny tablet of different color. You put it in the water, you add a little bit of vinegar, and you drop the egg there, and it sits there for about 20 or 30 minutes, and it just gets dyed different bright colors. We like it to be different colors. And I also buy those stickers. You put them on the egg, and you put the egg in the boiling water, and the stickers just like they wrap around the egg, and they look pretty with different patterns too. I have those stickers, and I think I'll do a couple of eggs this way too, just for fun. Okay, let me go. These people let me go. The cars. It's probably very loud road, so I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go through the library. I have heard that Okay. What else? Do you go to church and stay there overnight? Because some people used to go and they bring baskets of food and they stay there from midnight till the morning, and the priest will kind of like bless the food to eat for Easter. Do you guys do that? We did that, but I never went at night. Как красиво здесь все-таки у нас и тепло. I'm heading back. What else you want to know? I also use different types of grass or flowers wrapped around the egg, and when I put them out, I've watered the pattern. Remain stamped in an egg. That's a good one. I like this one. Thank you for reminding me that. You actually can use a little leaf from parsley, you know, like a little parsley leaf. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you said that. We did that too. And sometimes you put it in when you do it, you wrap your egg in a sock, but you know, like not a sock, like how you call it, like pantyhose, you know, pantyhose. It's like a nylon pantyhose. You put your egg and you dip it, and that's how you keep this little leaf around your egg. Yeah, that's cute. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's good. That's a good tradition too. Americans are too lazy. They wouldn't do this involved, you know, process of dyeing eggs. Everything is simple, so people don't spend too much time. Everything comes in a little box, a kit. You just mix things up and spend less time, and everything is easy here. Back in the day, people have to come up with ideas because things were not be easily available in the stores. Now anything you can think of, any craft, any tradition, you can order everything online, and any instruments, whatever you want to think of, you can buy. So it's even decorations. You don't need to make your own decorations anymore. You can just buy everything. What I do, I go then, I haven't put my decorations yet. Interesting. For Easter, I put them the last day. I should have put them last weekend, but I didn't have a chance. I don't know. But I do have little salt and pepper in the, you know, in the shape of a little bunny and the egg. I also have some decorations for the table, and I have placemats for my table. So maybe tonight, maybe I'll take them out and put them out tonight. Yes, tomorrow I'm going somebody's birthday. They keep texting, getting hyped up about this birthday. I met this lady through my Zumba class, and she's friends with my friends. And we got to party a month ago we got to party together for International Women's Day. And she's about my age, so her birthday is gonna be my friend's house tomorrow night, and I'm excited to celebrate because they're gonna be other ladies from the Zumba class. And last time we really had fun dancing. After we drank a little bit, we ate, and it was nice outside. So it's the same group of ladies, so probably it's gonna be a fun party tomorrow, and we can dance our Zumba too. Смотрите, какая тут красота. Какие красивые деревья. Сейчас будет солнце садиться. The sun is gonna be setting. That's the best golden hour of the day when the sun is setting and the weather is so pretty. Look, the trees, very green, very fresh. Everything is just like so bright. And look at the sky, no clouds, big blue sky. Gorgeous weather, gorgeous. Just get out of the house, go for a walk. Sometimes I just want to lay down in bed and cry and put a pillow on my head and just cover myself up from the whole world. But today I'm like, no, you gotta move, you gotta pump this heart, you're gonna get out, snap out of your deep emotions and do something good for yourself. Move your body. Okay, anybody wants to buy a house for sale? It's a tiny house, but it's in a good neighborhood. We're so happy to live here. This is such a good neighborhood. It's very safe. And there are a couple new houses they built over the past maybe 5 years. And they're close to the public park. But these are brand new homes. And these people didn't have pools, but I think in the last year they built pools. We're trying to see if we want to build a pool in my house too. So that's another big project. We just finished renovating my kitchen, but this year my husband is thinking that we should start building a pool in my yard too. Because girls are growing and they might go to college soon, so we want them to have a little fun before they go to college. Смотрите, как красиво. Вот красивые дома, так солнце. Вот этот парк. It's a nice park there. So this is a little street cul-de-sac they built over the last few years, but that's a pretty little neighborhood. So people were lucky to buy nice, beautiful homes here. Oh yeah, I can tell just now 10,000 steps. Yay, I hit my goal today, 10,000 steps. Good. I'm happy I did that. Птички поют. The birds are chirping. This is just such a nice breeze. Oh my gosh, I love the breeze. Oh my gosh. It's actually a breeze. It's not humid. It's nice and fresh. I already feel better. I already feel way better than when I started my walk. That works, guys. That works. Go for a walk often. What else you want to know? Share away with me your traditions for Easter. What's on your mind? How are things going with your loved ones? Хорошая улица, здесь нет много машин. Not many cars are here. I don't want to walk this big road where cars like speed up, like they go up to 45 miles per hour. And usually in the neighborhood streets, like I'm walking here on the sidewalk, usually it's 25, so there are not many cars tonight. Смотрите, как красиво. This is the jungle. This is a piece of jungle they didn't. It's a park there. So this is a piece of jungle they didn't cut out yet to build houses. So at least we have some green in our neighborhood. entrance to the park. So that's the walkway. You go there. Красиво. Almost an hour I've been with you walking. They built a house here too? That's crazy. Last time I walked on this bridge, there was no house here. But look at that, man. It's like right there, they built a house. Crazy. People live in the woods. Okay. Oh, that's the park? Oh no, that's there. They even have a little playground in their yard. Oh, I'm afraid to go there. I'm afraid to go there. I'm scared there's gonna be lots of mosquitoes. No, I'm going back. I'm going back. I saw the lady with the dog. She didn't want to be on my video probably. That's why she waited for me to go that way. But I said, no, I'll go back. Лес. Посмотрите. This is the jungle. Oh boy, who's there? Some kind of animal. Okay, it's been 59 minutes. We'll do it an hour. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening to my live stream, helping me express my feelings. I hope you have a good weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna come out, if I'm gonna have energy to come out again this weekend to say hi and talk to you. I'm trying to go buy some new makeup, and I want to do another live stream with applying some eyeshadows, because I've been watching some videos how to apply eyeshadows, because I'm into makeup and I did a couple of makeup routines, but I've been watching some beauty vloggers about tips how to apply eyeshadows, and I'm planning to go to Sephora this weekend to buy some new makeup, so stay tuned. Thank you for being with me. Love you all. Kate B, have a good Easter. Love you all. Bye-bye.